Hey everybody, what is up? It is your boy Dick Sal, back again for another video. Now, today's video I'm going to be talking about my flashlight collection. More so I'm going to be talking about kind of what I have for flashlights, why I choose these flashlights. I'm even going to give my own personal opinion at the end of it about what type of flashlights you should buy or not buy. Now, the main reason I'm doing this video is because I actually bought me a new flashlight tonight. Kind of spent a little bit more on it than what I was planning on, especially for the brand it is. I'll get to that in a second. But so far it seems like it's an okay flashlight. Normally I actually would not mind spending up to like $20 on a flashlight this size. Again, I was playing that towards the end of the video, my opinion about spending a lot of money on flashlights. The only reason why I have issues spending as much as I did on this is because the brand of it. But let me throw in a couple pouches here and we'll get into this video, because I'm actually pretty excited to make this video. Alright, now I think I'm going to start this video off with my least favorite one. No, I'm going to just go through the sizes actually, because I kind of want to talk about this one. Now, this is made by Coast. I bought it at O'Reilly's. Paid like $13.99 before tax, like 14 something after tax. No, 13 something after tax. It was $12.99 before tax, so that's right. And a couple reasons why I bought this. First off, my old go-to flashlights for this guy, which as you can see that they're almost the same height, but the thickness of them, this will definitely fit in the pocket way better than this. And this guy was my go-tos, and you can see they're about the same diameter, but this one's way smaller. And I like having a flashlight that I can easily just doop in my pocket. Easy peasy. I don't have to worry about accidentally breaking it, because I have broken a couple pin lights by sticking them in my pocket and then going underneath the car or whatever, and I have broken a couple flashlights that way. Normally they're plastic. I've kind of upgraded over the years to, I believe all these has aluminum, I think. Mine is my one over here, and these two, but I do believe all these are aluminum. So I seriously doubt I'm going to break them by accident. But all the information I know about this one is it's 400 lumen, so it should be plenty bright enough to be able to take and do my normal thing of looking at a motor and stuff. And another reason why I like small flashlights, if I have to hold this in my mouth, I can do so way easier than having to say if I want to try to hold like this in my mouth. I know it's kind of a drastic comparison, but still, it's a comparison nonetheless. Now, unfortunately, this takes one AAA to power. I don't really like actual like battery brand, like AA, AAA, stuff like that. I prefer watch batteries like what this one takes, but it's a small inconvenience I can get over, especially since there's only one battery. Now originally I was going to buy a little keychain one that took watch batteries, but it's actually bigger than this in some ways, and that one was $6.99, but I saw this one out of the corner of my eye, and I even like how this one looks. That one was gray. I don't know if you can take and tell from just some of the flashlights sitting right here. I don't really like gray flashlights. I actually prefer black, and the one thing I like is I should be able to find this still in the dark because it's got that little red ring around it. Now, What is my issue with Coast brand? Well, this is the same brand I'm thinking it is, and it looks like it because they spell it the same with the fancy letters and everything. They make knives. Every Coast knife I had was not the greatest. I mean, I've had a couple other batches. Okay, I mean, normally the tip always breaks on me, even if I am using it properly. So hopefully this is kind of like their knife selection of where I got a diamond instead of a pile of turds that is wrapped in a diamond coated. Now, real quick, I think this needs to be said. I'm going to kind of go over what these flashlights are mostly used for, at least in my opinion, and how I use them. This is normally what I grab when I'm like, okay, I want to look at this car, I want to look at this mower, whatever I'm working on. And then normally if I need a flashlight to actually work on it, either I stick this in my mouth, which is kind of not advised if you're working, if you just get done getting oil all over or something. But normally 9 times out of 10 what I actually do, especially flashlights like this, I'll grab a magnetic one, go clink, and actually have this shine on wherever I'm working on. This is just mainly for hooking my peepers on it and seeing what is what. Or for one-handed operation type things, like if I need to take a hose clamp off or something, normally I can easily do that one-handed. It's no problem. Now, another thing too that I want to talk about real quick, because I know some people do it. This is my phone, my actual real phone, and this is something I even do myself still. Hold on, y'all, my screen's all doinky because this phone brand is a hunk of junk. Okay, I can't get my phone to do it, but here's my woman's phone. Normally, and I still do this myself, there's this pretty little flashlight feature on most phones. As you can see on the wall behind me, it does shine pretty nicely. But the issue with that is now you're putting your phone into harm's way. Maybe that's why I don't advise doing that. I still do it every now and again, but I don't advise it. I know there's a lot of talking in this video. Flashlights is one of those things I'm a little picky on, so this video is going to be a little more talkity than some of my other ones, and I am going to actually give my whole honest opinion about flashlights and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much all I got to say about this guy. It does come with a removable belt clip or a pocket clip. I actually like that. That's my new flashlight. So far, it seems pretty good. I even did the drop test on it and it's still ticking. Now we're going to go up in the chain to my used to be favorite everyday carry flashlight. This thing is definitely not as bright as this one. I'm trying not to shine it at the camera. But if you look on the wall behind me, this is this one, this is this one. Still gets the job done, just not as efficiently, and I think it's mainly because, oh no, these look like LEDs in here, LED bulbs, but this flashlight was my favorite for the longest. Pen light, stick it down in certain shirt pockets, has a little cutout on the top, has a little movable pocket clip as well, but the head extends and the head is magnetic, and you can even bend it all sorts of different ways and be able to do all sorts of funky stuff like that. I'm assuming they did that so if you drop something behind a toolbox, you can just take and use the flashlight to retrieve it. I have yet to find a use for that, but half the time what I will do is I will telescope it out and bend it where I need it. Not the metal, but the actual part that bends. That's just pretty okay on that for concentrated beam. I still like this flashlight. This one actually takes I don't know exactly what size they are, but it takes watch battery style batteries. which means this thing is literally, I think it's going on almost a year and a half or so that I've had this thing, and apparently I must have put another battery in because this thing originally, at one point only had 3 batteries, still working by the way, when it only had 3 batteries somehow. Bought a new one to replace this one because I thought this one only had 3 batteries in it. I must have put another battery in it, didn't even realize it, and this thing has literally been going on like a year and a half or so, still the same brightness, and I've left this thing on all night. Now, before we get into these bigger daddies of flashlights, we're going to talk about my least favorite one, and there's many reasons why I don't like this one. Normally, I'm a big fan of Hypertough. They do make some good flashlights, and a whole bunch of other tools. I hate this flashlight with a passion. All the way from, you can either unscrew the end cap here to take the batteries out, or for some reason, I guess they decided one way wasn't good enough, you can unscrew the whole thing here, all the way from here, to be able to take the batteries out. What? Is there just something I'm not gathering or something? Because that makes no dang sense. Also, both magnets on are weak as hell. There's got one on the end here and then one actually in this little clip that just does whatever it wants. It goes any which way. If you're holding it like this, that's uncomfortable as hell. And it doesn't even, my whole hand doesn't even hold it. Just like 3 fingers. And it's bright, I'll give it that. It's got some good light, but it's just not my favorite. It takes 3 AAA. I don't think I've ever changed the batteries in this. I think I've had this for like over a year, something like that. And the only reason why it's still as bright as it is because I don't use it. I bet you if I opened this up, it probably still got the original batteries in it from back when I first bought it. I think it was under like 20 bucks. Don't quote me. I think this one was like under 10 bucks, or right about 10 bucks. But don't buy this one. It's a hunk of junk. This thing mostly all it does is sit in my shop half the time on the floor, because when I stick it to something it goes whoop, because I keep forgetting the magnet on it. Sucks. And yeah, it still looks pretty dang nice and everything just because I don't use it. Hate it. Don't buy one. The only good thing I can say about this flashlight, other than it being bright, is when you light it on something, it doesn't roll off. Because of the stupid design of it. I hate that thing. Now, let's go on to one of my old faithfuls, one of my old favorite ones. The only thing that sucks is this one, if you tap it, sometimes it'll cut off, and then you gotta hit it again, but for taking a look around and stuff, it's pretty nice. It's got a clip on it, no magnets, which ain't the end of the world. Nice button that's indented into the end of it so you can't accidentally turn it on. Pretty compact size. I don't really like carrying it in my pocket just because it's a little too bulky. How thick around it is. One of the things I do like though is I can set it down and it's got these little grooves. I guess those are supposed to be like heat displacement or something. I'm not sure. I think this thing's like, I don't even know if I paid for this, but if I did, I probably paid under 10 bucks for it, probably at an auto parts store. And you'll see a lot of this in my lineup of flashlights I used to use, which is mainly these guys. I don't use them as much anymore, but I still keep them because I still do use them. This is one of my old favorites as well. It's got 3 different modes. It's got your, I don't know what mode you want to call this, but it's like a focus beam, a low, and then it's got a wide spread light, which I hate because it doesn't do much. And yeah, and the other good thing, and I've used this a lot too, is the swivels, and the magnet on the bottom is actually pretty strong. I've actually stuck this onto an oil pan and swiveled the head how I needed it, and it did work that way. It's got a belt clip on it, a pocket clip that is removable. Only downside is it's so clunky and big that I don't stick it in my pocket much unless I'm wearing like cargo pants. It's got a nice button on it that's kind of hard to push by accident. And if I'm not mistaken, this takes 3 AAA. Same as this guy. The bottom part of it is falling apart. So I gotta be very careful when I go change batteries out so I don't lose my parts to it. But it's got the stupid cartridge in there that I never really like in flashlights. Because the end is broken, it does take, it's a pain to get on and off. Now this is a step up in price. Instead of being like under $10, this thing was under 20. If I'm not mistaken, or right about 20, something like that. This is one of my newer ones too. I bought this a couple days ago. And this thing is pretty nice. It's got the little thing on the top that I might make some sort of hook thing that I can actually hook this onto, put onto a hood or whatever. But the magnet on this, I think, is the strongest of all my flashlights. I mean, this thing just goes clunk, and it doesn't go nowhere. I like this thing, very bright. It takes 3 AAA. A lot of my flashlights take AAA, but I always only carry AA. I need to start carrying triples. So that's all I really gotta say about this guy. So far I like it though. And it's got the hex on both sides so that way you can actually set it down and it's gonna roll up your toolbox. Same style, almost like design what this has around the collar and around the end of it so it doesn't roll away. And this guy has this type of, has something similar for the same thing, and this has a nice rubber grippy handle that I do like a lot. And this thing is been through hell and back, been through water and everything else. Same as this guy, which is probably why this guy is kind of quirky. This guy has definitely become one of those type of flashlights you don't want to drop it in a dark room. You will not find it. Unless you accidentally step on it and kick it hard enough to turn it back on. Now this is my, hey, who the fuck is that their flashlight? It's got 3 modes. It's got high, low, then it's strobe. But if you press and hold the button for about 5 seconds, it doesn't turn off. And it's stuck on high. Hold it again for about 5 seconds, turns off. And even if I got this like in strobe mode, I press and hold this, it goes back to the bright mode. This thing is a baller. Takes 6 AA. Hence why I carry so many AA. Even though this thing doesn't get used much, I still like having this, especially in the shop, just in case, like, for some reason, you know, if the power goes out in the house, or I need to take and see who the hell is outside, I definitely can take and do so with this. And it's metal. It's got the nice design yet again to where you shouldn't be able to roll off nothing. Nice rubber grip. I love this thing. The button does stick up kind of far, and you can accidentally press it by accident, but I've never had an issue. I don't even know how many lumens or anything half of these flashlights are. I only know how many lumens this new one is because I looked at it compared to the other one. But this thing I think costs about 20 something bucks. This one I think was another one that cost about 14 bucks. Now, onto a light that I had to fix, but I'll tell you about this one. Bright as hell. Doesn't last the longest in my opinion, but it does got these nice things on there because it's meant for camping. It's a lantern, but you can hang it up in your shop or just set it down on a table or something and light up a good area. If you buy this, it's from Dollar General. Again, yet another one of my flashlights. I don't remember the price on, but I know it's under 10 bucks. And this one I do believe takes 3 AA. I got confirmation it was about 5 bucks. And it actually is pretty nice. Just one of the wires came loose in the bottom. I fixed it. Wasn't that hard to fix. It did blow up one of the batteries that was originally in it though, and made battery acid to go all over the inside of there, and I had to take and fix that. It would clean that up. Now onto two of my most used under the car style flashlights. I got my good old trusty dusty Hyper-Tough. I don't ever use the light on the bottom, but it's there. I only got it because of the light right here, and it's got a hook, so I can hook it anywhere, and I can even swivel it on the hook if I need to. It's just a really nice light. It's got actually a pretty good magnet on the back of it for storage wise. Price of like sticking it to the bottom of the car, don't do it. And you have to take the whole back off to be able to change the batteries, but the batteries lasting a pretty good while because I normally wait until it doesn't turn on no more to change them. This one came from Harbor Freight. The magnet sucks on the back. It will literally just start sliding down your toolbox or whatever metal you stick it to, but it does got a hook on the back. Got the same features as the Hyper-Tough one. Just this one costs a couple bucks more than this one. This one costs like $2-3, something like that, and this one I think costs about like $5. They're both the same brightness. Like there's no real difference in the brightness. This one actually looks a little bit brighter. I paid more money for the Hyper-Tough one. And like I said, they both do got flashlights on the bottom. They look like they're the same LED strips. Everything looks the same on these, other than the bulbs on this one look way more bent than this one. The bulbs on this one look like they're bent up. The bulbs on this one look like they're bent down. I don't know. But if you look closer at this one, you can see I've used and abused this a lot. I especially love shoving it into tight places. And having light is like where I need it. That's the main reason why I bought this one. So, with that being said though, this one is really nice. That's kind of my whole assortment of flashlights. Oh, before I forget it, I also do got a headlamp. This gets used quite a bit too. It doesn't pivot, the head doesn't pivot or nothing, but it costs like $5, $6, something like that at Dollar General as well. And how you change batteries out is you actually open up like so. So don't drop it. You might sling the batteries out. It's got 3 settings: high, low, flash. Only thing I hate is you gotta cycle through all the features in order for it to turn off, but hey. And the band is actually pretty good on it. I've been using this thing for a while now. Never had an issue. It does kind of get in the way that you can't really pivot it, but never really had anything where I couldn't get done. I just won't move it on my head if I need the light somewhere specific. So, I think that's all I got to say in today's video. I hope y'all did enjoy this video. If you did, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Oh, wait. Before I forget. A little flashlight talk at the end. I get so irritated with some of these people I see that they can say you have to spend amount of money because if you buy a cheap flashlight, they're junk. They're throwaways. This is why I suggest that anybody want to buy a flashlight. You find a cheap one at O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Advanced, whatever the case may be, Walmart, Harbor Freight, buy it. And normally because it's cheap enough, you ain't going to break yourself if it breaks. Don't go spend like 20-something on a flashlight and then find out either you don't like it, it ain't exactly what you wanted, which in my opinion are two different type of things, or it breaks and now you're like $20-$30 out on a flashlight, and that's not going to take and be well. And I have had many of good flashlights that were cheap. I can't stress that enough. I bought flashlights from Dollar Tree that were $1, and they did plenty of what I needed them to do before they finally hit the crapper. So just taking tests out of different flashlights, test out different brands, find what you like, and if you want something a little bit better, spend a little bit extra money when you have it to spare to be able to test out more expensive ones. But always my advice, especially if you're a mechanic or even somebody that does like plumbing or is doing underneath houses, don't buy a flashlight over $30. You will never get your money back for that thing if you lose it, drop it, break it, so on and so forth. Because, yeah, you might have the money to spend to keep buying them, but at a certain point you're going to be $100, $200 in a flashlight, and you're going to be getting pissed off at yourself. Buy cheap, you'll thank yourself in the end. Now, I hope y'all did enjoy this video. If you did, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you get notified of all my future uploads. And this is Dixie Outlaw, and I am signing off, y'all.